that mind, body, heart connection of meditation and affirmative prayer, growing in kindness, growing in loving, growing in philanthropy, growing in sacred service. It's all very important first and foremost, because the mitochondria of the body, every cell definitely hears your inner talk. So your inner practices of meditation and wonderful self-talk and affirmation is extremely important. And then these other things add to your energy, your vitality, your beauty, and your radiance as a spiritual being. So today on Take Back Your Mind, I'm just giving you a few of my favorite things. Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and blessings, everyone, and welcome to Take Back Your Mind. I am your host for this podcast, Michael B. Beckwith, the founder of the Agape International Spiritual Center in its 38th year of an incarnation as a community. Wow, that's beautiful. Listen, people have asked me a lot about, what I do in terms of the energy that I seem to possess on a regular basis. I'm doing 3 services on Sunday. I'm doing podcasts during the week. I travel during the week and do workshops and speaking engagements, other parts of the country, other parts of the world. Obviously, I have staff meetings, board meetings, and other counseling sessions that I need to take from time to time with people. And I'm writing. I write the theme of the month. I'm in the midst of writing 2 books. I have a family. I have kids, I have grandkids. There's a lot goes on in a robust spiritual community. I was just speaking with someone recently, and he had just come to Agape for the very first time. And he said, this place has been here for 38 years. I said, yeah, in different locations, but we've been in existence for 38 years. And he said, wow, who founded this place? I said, I did. He said, no. Who was the first person that actually started this? I said, me. He said, you? He said, you're the founder 38 years ago? I said, yes. He says, it's hard for me to fathom. You're that old. I said, I'm not that old. I'm not old at all. Biologically, I'm not old. And so he started asking me. He said, what are you doing, man? I saw you up there speaking and you're flying around the stage. And anyway, people ask me, what do you do? I teach a cosmology of oneness and sufficiency. There's one power, one presence, one love, one life. It's everywhere. We're unified with that. And because of that, there is an inner self-sufficiency, capital S. That means everything we could want and hope for and desire is already within us. That does not mean we cannot use things to help boost that awareness of our sufficiency. But first and foremost, the cosmology of oneness is the order of the day. So I'm not prone to wanting or teaching gross materialism or being a part of the fame game or using all manner of external stuff to get us high. It's all within here. And yet there are things we can use. Some of our favorite things I'm going to tell you about. The links to some of my favorite things will be in the show notes. So go at it as you were. I'm not really, a lot of times my staff will say, you should tell them this, you should tell them that. People ask me, I'm not really a good salesman like that. I'm not really into gross materialism or trying to sell a bunch of stuff. But people have asked me, and I'll tell you some of the things that I love and what I love to do. And it always begins with consciousness first. And then there's these exogenous things that you can use to support your well-being, your sense of energy, your inner beauty, your radiance, okay? So here we go. I like taking 4 Sematic. They make teas, and I take one every day called Boost. I like the 4 Sematic Boost Elixir. It contains great mushrooms like cordyceps. Now, cordyceps gives you a really nice boost of energy. It's in a base of cacao, which is really good for you as well. And cordyceps, for athletes, allows you to recover faster. So I take that in the morning that's one of the things I take in the morning before I go to the gym and work out. It has organic schizandra in it. It's good for mental clarity. You ever heard of lambs? Not the sheep. Lambs is a product that I use. They have hats, underwear, things of that particular nature. It blocks the EMF from going into your body, the radiation. That can be very harmful. And so these were developed, used by NASA when the astronauts would go out into outer space and be bombarded by tremendous radiation. Well, now you can get the lamb's wear. I have it on today, right now. So it blocks radiation. And I'll tell you this, if you're driving an electric car, particularly if you're sitting on top of a battery, you're getting radiation in your body. You may have some aches and pains that suddenly you don't even know why you have the aches and pains. It could be the radiation, could be EMF, could be the towers, could be your mobile cell phone. So I like the lamb's wear, LAMBS. And of course, this will be in the show notes. I have on lamb's underwear right this moment, for those of you who want to know. You know what else I use and like? Soak app. The Soak app, SOAAK.com. These are vibrations and frequencies that are used for healing. They came out of an integrative medical clinic in Tulsa, Oklahoma a number of years ago. People would fly in to the clinic and, do the integrative medicine, but they would also sit in a room and be immersed in these frequencies of healing. Frequencies for anxiety, depression, digestion, cardiovascular work, things of that particular nature. They have like over 30 different frequencies for the healing of your body temple and for your mental well-being. Well, they discovered a way to distribute, to outsource this now, so you can actually get the frequencies on your phone or on your computer. You can listen to them in your car while you're listening to music or a podcast. And they're not binaural beats. Those are good. These are actual frequencies that act like a tuning fork that allow your body temple and your subtle bodies to vibrate to the level of wholeness and wellness. Soak, SOAAK.com. It'll all be in the show notes. You know what else is one of my favorite things? You may see me wearing malas from time to time. We have a Beckwith mala as well that's been particularly designed for me. It has pyrite and different substances that help the vibration stay high. But I wear a mala primarily, put them on in the morning. It's just kind of a remembrance that I'm on a spiritual adventure, a spiritual journey. I'm connected to the presence that's never an absence. So it's just more of a reminder. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my mala and hold it in my hand and just infuse it with a sense of love and joy and well-being, knowing that this day is going to be one of the greatest days of my life, and then I'll put it on. So the Beckwith mala, it'll be in the show notes, but they can be purchased at Alice's Quiet Mind bookstore right here at Agape International. We have the Beckwith mala and we have the Agape mala as well. And then is one of my favorites too, is Ion Gut Health. That was created by Dr. Zach Bush. He was on my podcast recently. You may want to go back and actually listen to him speak about that and some of the other powerful ways to stay healthy. But it really allows for your gut, your biome gut health to be magnificent. I mean, there's a gut brain, you see. And his particular formula, the Ion Gut Health with the humic acid, allows for your body to generate what it needs for the healing of the gut and other areas of your life. It's not a prebiotic or a probiotic, because sometimes you take those. Those are good. They're necessary, but sometimes they create like a mono situation in your body. The Ion Gut Health tells your body what to create. So you're not taking a probiotic. It actually assists your body in creating what is necessary for you. So you're not taking too much of something or not enough of something. I love Ion Gut Health. I try not to ever run out of it. And I use it on a daily basis for my healthy gut. Ion Gut Health. What do you think about when I say shea butter? When I say aloe vera, coffee butter? There is a something I put on my body like a lotion. It's called Gem Sense. All organic, natural, good stuff. The skin is the largest organ of the body. So you want to make sure that whatever you're putting on your skin doesn't have negative chemicals in it. Oftentimes people will have skin problems. They think it's because they're staying too long in the sun. Oftentimes it's because what they're putting on their skin has inorganic, toxic chemicals. So when the sun beats down on that lotion or on that skin protector, it's actually baking into the skin the toxic chemicals. So Gem Sense, all natural, all organic, aloe vera. That's what I rub into my body. I know it's good. I know the owner. She's a very beautiful, powerful, wonderful being. And that's what I use. It's called Gem Sense. I think everybody likes incense. I like incense. When I wake up in the morning, I put incense in different rooms in my home as before I go into the kitchen to make my warm water and lemon and minerals that I take every morning, before I make the teas, before I make the smoothies. And Calm Veda, C-A-L-M, Calm Veda. I a lot of times use the rose. It's made of uncycled rose petals that are in temples. These roses, have been infused by people meditating and praying, and oftentimes people will take the roses and just sweep them out. They become a part of the compost. Well, this is what the incense is made of. It's charcoal free. So I use Calm Veda. They have other scents as well, but I really love the rose. When people walk into my home, they always say, "What is that smell? It's so beautiful, so uplifting." It's Calm Veda rose. Yeah, try it. I think you're going to love it. Another thing that's very important, beauty is a path to opening one's consciousness. And so I'm not heavy into adornment, but I love beauty. I love, I wear the mala. I'll wear, one of my staff members makes these for me and for Agape that I wear on my wrist. There's this Sundancer Pendant you may see me wearing from time to time. These are sold at the Alice Quiet Mind bookstore. But as they are made, the individual artists that make these, they infuse this with a certain intentionality. There are different stones. And so that intentionality, when you put it on, similar to the mala, is in your field. It's in your vibrational field. And so I wear mine. I have a silver one and I have a gold one that were gifted to me. This is what you see right here. It's a Sundancer gold pendant. And I think beauty is important. In certain countries, people that wear like a uniform, they can't really express themselves in terms of the kind of jewelry they like to wear or things of that particular nature. We still can. So this is one of the things that I wear from time to time. Not every day, but a lot of days. And what's very important? People are so busy these days that sometimes they put themselves last. They try to serve people from an empty cup. Self-care is extremely important. And I have to remind myself about this because I can go, 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 go. Certain staff members will make fun of me. They'll say, "Can't stop, won't stop," where I'm concerned. But you know what I like? I like a good bath. I like to soak. There's a Surya bath soak that I use. Rose petal, kenna leaf, certain kinds of sea salts. It's beautiful. Surya bath soak. I use that. And I've given it away as gifts as well for people that I, kind of a hint. It's time for you to stop. It's time for you to just take a bath, put some incense, some natural, good, non-toxic incense, a little non-toxic candle, and just sit in the tub for 20, 30 minutes in some nice warm to hot water. I can remember a number of years ago, I was stuck in traffic. I had an old BMW that had broken down, and it was during rush hour. I don't know why they call it rush hour because everybody's moving so slow, but it's one of those oxymoronic kind of things. And people were blowing their horns at me and calling me all manner of names. You know what I did? I closed my eyes, and I said, "What am I going to be doing this evening? I'm going to be in the bathtub. I'm going to be listening to some John Coltrane. I'm going to be having some incense in the candle. I'm going to relax. I just got really relaxed. And then my car started. And then I drove home. And that night, I did exactly that. I soaked in the bath. Try Surya bath soak. You're going to love it. And then number 10. People say, Beck, that's what they call me sometimes. Beckwith, Michael Bernard Beckwith. You got a lot of energy, man. What do you put in your body? And for years, I had all these different ingredients of all my different super greens and my herbs, my almond milks, and all of this. So I finally have my own product. It's called AdaptoZen, Superfood Greens. Over 40 different plant-based ingredients that has the probiotics and has the prebiotics. It has digestives. It has a lot of ingredients. But here's the deal. It tastes good, and in one scoop, you're getting a lot of the daily minimum the body temple needs to stay strong and vital. So those are just 10 of my favorite things. So my product is called AdaptoZen, and it's just one of different products. I take that every day. You know, we have a mushroom product, we have reds, we have greens, but that was the first, so that's my first baby. It's sweet, it's wonderful. The teenagers love it because they get off of those toxic energy drinks. They just take the scoop of that and they're good to go. I said 10, but 11 is a good number. You know what I'm thinking about? One of my favorite places is the Rhythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. I'm on the board of trustees there. I teach there twice a year. And my class, The Answer Is You, is taught there every single week. So it is a center for self-elevation. It is a center for self-advancement, meditation, yoga, swimming, farm-to-table food, breath work. The Answer Is You, colonics. And it's optional, but people go there oftentimes to participate in ayahuasca ceremonies under the supervision of true shamans. And there's a whole medical staff there. It's an all-inclusive place that I love to go to. So that's number 11. It just came into my mind as a place to go to in Costa Rica. And if you want to try the ayahuasca, you can. If you don't want to do ayahuasca, they have all the other modalities for what? Expansion of your consciousness. That mind, body, heart connection of meditation and affirmative prayer. Growing in kindness, growing in loving, growing in philanthropy, growing in sacred service. It's all very important first and foremost because the mitochondria of the body, every cell definitely hears your inner talk. So your inner practices of meditation and wonderful self-talk and affirmation is extremely important. And then these other things add to your energy, your vitality, your beauty, and your radiance as a spiritual being. So today on Take Back Your Mind, I'm just giving you a few of my favorite things. I look at the list that I'm telling you. I use these things every day. Obviously, I'm not wearing the same pendant every day. I'm wearing similar malas every day. But the stuff I eat and the incense, this is just built into my way of living. But it's all reminders that I am first and foremost a spiritual being having a human incarnation. I'm not merely the son or daughter of my parents. I am an emanation of the Most High, and so are you. You need a boost? Try one of my favorite things, or try them all. Peace and radical blessings to you. Dynamic blessings to you. This is our opportunity to become practitioners. I'm not speaking of a licensed practitioner of any sort. I'm speaking about one who practices. It is the depth of our practice and the authenticity of our practice, our commitment to practice, that determines the unfolding of our life in a very powerful way. I've said over the years that everyone's pretty much the same. What separates us is our habits. And so when we begin to have a habit that's about transformation, about expanding our consciousness, you'll separate yourself from the collective consciousness, from the herd consciousness, because you'll be going directly to the presence that's never an absence. You won't be going to the world. As you've heard me speak about the fact that self-sufficiency is a sufficiency with the capital S self, the spiritual self, the real self, the authentic self, the higher mind, the higher self, the superconscious self, the super soul self, the Christ self within us. And so we begin to have a relationship with this self, which is who we really are. We learn to depend upon it. We learn to yield to it. We learn to feel its essence as our very own essence. And then that deep sense of self-sufficiency and the real self becomes a dynamic of confidence as we go through the world. Because we're not just depending on our skills, our experience. We're depending on that which is within us that's greater than any issue in the world, that which is within us is greater than any problem, because every problem is frightened of your potential. And so through meditation, we're tapping into our potential and making it actualized so that our life unfolds to a greater and greater glory. So I want you to consider the fact that from this moment on, you're to catch a feeling of self-sufficiency, that you already have everything that you need, and that through this feeling of this truth and speaking from this truth and acting from this truth, your life unfolds in an entire different way. You expand your awareness into the field of infinite consciousness, and then lo and behold, the world as it appears to be begins to change for you, because you are living in a different world. And so we're going to become still at this moment. Your feet are on the ground unless you're in a lotus position. Your hands are in your lap facing upward as a sign of receptivity. You tap the space between the eyebrows. Just tap it and say to yourself, you can even say it out loud, I'm willing to see without the use of my eyes. I am willing to see without the use of my eyes. I am willing to see without the use of my eyes. And so with the two eyes closed and the spiritual eye opened, we establish an intention to wake up to the self-sufficiency of our own being. Everything we can want, hope for, and desire is within us vibrationally, and we're giving it permission to come forward. As Robert Browning once said, we are releasing the inner splendor. That's what's happening in meditation. The inner splendor is being released. We're not trying to get something from the world. We are releasing our inner splendor. And then the world changes according to the vibrational frequency that we are emitting. Be still. Intend to wake up to a deep, ever-expanding awareness of your sufficiency. Feel into this. Think about moments in your life where you asked yourself to accomplish some things, to get some things done, to grow in a particular area of your life. And as you began to walk in that direction confidently, something changed within you. You felt more committed, you felt more secure, you felt more at peace, you felt more powerful. You felt sufficient unto the moment. Capture that feeling now. And allow that to be the feeling tone that you breathe in and breathe out. I am a self-sufficient being. Feel the self-sufficiency, feel that confidence. And you are meditating on that. Your attention is on the feeling of what it feels like to be sufficient unto the moment. You're not grasping or trying to get something. Your whole being is feeling. Everything I could want, I have. You're becoming a spiritual lightning rod for the manifestation of that feeling, a divine fiat of this truth. Coming back to the feeling tone of sufficiency, all needs met, supernal confidence. Those words and those intentions are generating a feeling because you're remembering moments like that in your life, so your attention is on this feeling. This feeling is an extension of the real you. That is the eternal you, the immortal you, the forever you, the real you. All needs are met, and that which is within you can handle any seeming challenge that comes to meet you. You're self-sufficient unto the day. Capital S, self. We give thanks for this. I declare and decree that each being listening or watching this particular podcast is blessed exceedingly well, that this activation of self-sufficiency and the awareness that all that is necessary is within us already, waiting to be unpacked through right intentionality and spiritual practice. The word is spoken for each and every one of us that we may be free in consciousness now. We give thanks. I give thanks and allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen. As you slowly open your eyes, you are an urban shaman. A shaman is an individual that goes into another dimension and then comes back with the gift for the community. You've gone into the feeling tone of your real nature, which is sufficient unto the self, unto the day. And you're bringing that energy back into this world, that there will be a response. And the response will be, more you will be revealed. The response will be, the sufficiency will show up as a need answered. It's a law. Have a beautiful and bright day. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. I truly hope that you are enjoying Take Back Your Mind podcast. The Take Back Your Mind podcast is sponsored primarily by the Agape International Spiritual Center. In other words, Everything that you see in terms of the staff that puts this together, the editing, the equipment, all of this is sponsored by our Agape International Spiritual Center. So if you are enjoying the podcast, I'm inviting you to support the sponsor. Support Agape. Simply go to agapelive.com and make a donation. And say in the donation that you are supporting the podcast. It allows us to keep broadcasting. It allows us to keep putting these magnificent moments together with these wonderful people that I get to interview. We keep having the possibility of updating the equipment that's necessary and providing the wonderful content that many of you are writing in and saying, I really love the podcast. Support the podcast. Support the sponsor. Agape International Spiritual Center. agapelive.com. You can also text to donate. You can text the word give to 424-321-6243 and put podcast so that we know that you're really supporting this wonderful podcast. Our secondary sponsor is AdaptoZen, AdaptoZen. This is my superfood greens. It's nutritionally dense because I teach spirit, mind, and body. We want our body temples to be healthy. So one of the products is my superfood greens. You can go to NutraRise.com. Those three little lines you see, you hit those three little lines and you'll see AdaptoZen. There's two products, my superfood greens and a product called Elevate, which are organic mushrooms for your health. You can put both in your smoothies so that you have main ingredients for the health of your body temple. These are our sponsors. Primary sponsor, Agape International Spiritual Center. Secondary sponsor, AdaptoZen. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be wise. Circulate and share. Peace and blessings. Your time is very valuable, so I want to thank you for lending us your ear and participating in taking back your mind. If you want to submit a question for the question of the week, please submit it to podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, please submit a review and let us know your thoughts. Stay on top of current episodes by subscribing to the podcast so that you'll receive alerts and not miss one single episode. And feel free to share this podcast with all of your friends and family. And until we meet again, take back your mind and you will take back your life. Peace and blessings.